Hi, I'm Irving. You have just entered Cartertopia. Project XYZ is some kind of doomsday weapon too horrible to think about. At least that's the conclusion of the three scientists who were assigned to develop the project. One of their number is giving a report to some military brass.
A weapon that would escalate the current arms race to nightmare proportions.
Everybody's wondering if he's always had that twitch. By their expressions, I'm going to go with no.
And so, upon discovering the true dimensions of our unconscionable task, we burn every note, every equation, every trace of our work. Gentlemen, we have destroyed the XYZ nightmare. Destroyed the XYZ nightmare. We have destroyed the XYZ nightmare.
Whoa, he's a Stepford wife.
How could you do a thing like that? How could you do a thing like that? When I was just going to give you coffee. When I was just going to give you coffee.
But that's just the beginning. That explains it. Somebody slipped him some bad acid.
It's an android.
After the opening credits, we get a summary.
That's Dr. Royce Tobias. That's the day he signed on my project. That's Dr. Royce Tobias yesterday morning.
You're kidding.
What's left of an intricately built human robot. Somewhere along the line, the real doctor was replaced by an android. And now he and all he knows about Project XYZ are missing.
That's Major Dexter, an old friend of Steve's. He's the one most directly in charge of this project, so if it gets stolen and sold to a foreign power, it's his neck on the block. Each of the three scientists was working in isolation on a different part of the project, so it takes all three of them to complete it. That means the other two are at risk, so they start arranging security for them. And now for the detective work.
I guess the first thing we have to do is find out exactly when the switch was made.
I think I'll start at Tobias's laboratory, see if I can find anything there.
Good.
I like how he doesn't give her assignments anymore. She just says, I'm going to do this, and he says, okay. It's nice that he's finally figured out who's the smart one on the team.
Well, Diana, looks like we'll be seeing quite a lot of each other.
Well, yeah, I guess the more I find out, the more questions I'll have for you, Tex.
Well, why don't you plan on asking me some of those questions over dinner one of these evenings?
Steve's expression says this is going to be good.
More likely I'll be, asking them over the telephone.
And it was. Sorry, Dex, unless you're an alien with 2 hearts and a magic necklace, she's out of your league. Somebody's already at the lab.
Thank you very much. I'll close the door behind me.
Lady, you stay right where you are and don't move.
Why didn't he just quietly slip out while her back was turned? She never would have known he was there. Now he's in big trouble because she transforms and goes after him.
Gotten enough exercise?
Next time you might find not running toward a blank wall more effective.
You can't lie.
I can't. I can't.
Okay, that explains a lot. Steve and Dex have been making the security arrangements for the other 2 scientists.
Dr. Prescott was none too happy with his new living arrangements.
Lazar had some colorful phrases about the security arrangements where he is, too.
I'll bet. Now, we've got guards at every entrance, every elevator, and at their rooms in both buildings. They may not be happy, but they are safe.
Just keep telling yourself that. Diana calls and reports her encounter.
Diana found some toy soldiers at Tobias's apartment. Does he have some kind of a hobby?
all three scientists play war games with miniature soldiers for relaxation.
Did you hear that, Diana?
Yes. I guess only geniuses can play with toys when they're over 50 and get away with it.
How the times have changed. Now we have a guy in his 60s doing silly stuff on YouTube where he got his start playing video games. I wonder if Diana would approve. As Steve and Dex drive away, a yellow van pulls up. It's a box of new toy soldiers for the professor. He takes delivery and starts setting them up.
Yes, now, Dr. Lazar, we shall see just who should have won the Battle of Chateau Thierry. Yes, indeed. Cell position here.
And then the weirdness begins. When's the last time you saw one of those with actual sharp teeth that can puncture skin? At least he has the dog to cuddle.
Infantry here and here. Ow. What is the...
Hello, Dr. Prescott. You're going to do exactly what I tell you to.
He walks out of the room and around the corner, taking the toy dog with him, while an android walks in and takes his place. I guess falling asleep on duty is no big deal to him, and he doesn't remember that he was holding a toy barking dog when he fell asleep. This guy is officer material. At the Jungle King toy store downtown, we see that the Riddler has taken up a very different trade in his old age.
Keep an eye on the radio. And you with that flirty smile, you take care of all the introductions and make sure he feels at home.
Or maybe he's just bananas.
Here, come. Half an us a guest, eh? Let me see. Oh. Mine is better. Mine are always better.
He may be bananas, but he can build a working android. And being the Riddler, of course he'll put them to nefarious purposes.
So the android that Diana ran into was supposed to retrieve something from the laboratory.
A reasonable deduction. It was probably sent to find and remove a clue to Dr. Tobias's disappearance.
Yeah, well, I wish I could advise you that we've identified that clue, but...
No need to explain. I am well acquainted with human fallibility. According to data just received, the key to Dr. Tobias's disappearance would seem to lie with the place where he spent most of his time. Therefore, I suggest you carefully examine the present domicile of the two remaining scientists.
Aha! I'm one step ahead of you, Ira. Diana's already on her way to Prescott's for that very reason.
Oh?
It's okay, Iraq. We're well acquainted with computer fallibility.
I'll give you a chance to make another suggestion. It's almost Christmas.
Affirmative.
All right, I want to buy Diana a present, but I don't know what to get her. With everything you know about her, what would you suggest?
I suggest you talk to Wonder Woman.
You're a big help.
Fortunately, Steve didn't catch the implications in that suggestion, but Iraq sure is dropping hints that he knows her secret, and he's keeping it, for now. We have no idea what an artificial intelligence might want to do with such information.
I'm Diana Prince from the IEDC.
I don't care if you're from the IADC or the FDIC. I can't tell you how happy I am to have some company. Such lovely company at that, too.
Well, thank you very much,
Come.
but I have some questions.
Please sit down. We're going to have a lovely chat.
I really can't stay. I just
yes,
want
you
to
can,
ask
of
you
course.
some questions.
Some
okay?
tea. Would you like some tea?
I
Please,
don't-
please.
Either he's been doing tons of cocaine or he's an android trying to avoid answering your questions. She follows him to the kitchen and asks about Dr. Tobias's movements and when the switch might have taken place.
Doctor,
My tolerance for pain is astonishing, isn't it? Remarkable.
That burner's red hot.
And now we know the answer to that question. How did this switch happen?
The guards in and around Prescott's apartment have no idea. They swear that Prescott never left, that he had no visitors, and that he did absolutely nothing unusual.
Nobody mentions the toy delivery? That might be significant. We might be able to forgive the inside guard because I'm betting that dog gave him a nice dose of Versed to wipe his short-term memory along with whatever knockout drug that was. But the outside guard should tell them about the delivery. Diana heads over to make sure the third doctor, Dr. Lazar, is still really Dr. Lazar.
Well?
I must say, this has been one of my more unusual house calls. I've checked people for colds, flu, virus, but never for not being human.
Thank you, Doctor.
She has to quiz the doctor about whether he's the one behind all this, which is a logical hypothesis. He puts her concerns to rest about that because he regrets ever becoming part of the project. But that means he's the next target. And if the bad guys succeed, the results could be devastating for the whole world.
Where did you get these?
Soldiers? In a toy shop in Georgetown, on Blakely Street.
Time to visit the Riddler. Hoffman.
I was being quiet on purpose for this one. It's nap time.
Oh, she's cute.
You like. Maybe I can show you a doll?
No, I'm interested in toy soldiers, miniature troops.
Miniature troops.
Tinkertown troops. That's a brand name. I saw some World War I models.
No, miniature troops. Perhaps to shop on maybe.
You don't carry them?
No.
Why would he deny carrying them? It's easy enough to verify that the doctor's got theirs from him.
Yeah, at this time of year, an old man like me gets tired and sometimes very rude. Maybe you accept this gift for your dashboard in your car and perhaps forgive a tired old man.
All right.
Why did he specify her dashboard? And why was it on that model plane?
My love. At last, your first voyage. Your maiden voyage. For it is a maiden that you shall be destroying.
Nobody could do the crazy eyes like Frank Gorshin. Diana is driving down the road with the homing device, little trinket on her dashboard. Throw that thing out. Grab that thing he gave you and throw it as far away as you can. The plane is homing in on it. Or not. Now it's homing in on her. How it's doing that, we don't ask around here. It has bombs and a machine gun. Every child's dream toy. Good thing it doesn't have a camera. Really? She didn't already deduce that from the fact that he gave it to her and then the plane came after her? And what's she going to do with it now?
Yes, you will be my most perfect. The creme de la creme de la creme. Now turn around.
This promises to get interesting. Diana is reporting the whole thing to Steve back at HQ.
Steve, Dr. Lazar is gone.
Gone?
He's not in the safe house we arranged.
It's all right. I had him moved.
Yeah, good work, Diana. Where is he now?
I would just as soon spare you the burdensome details, Dex.
Dex is beside himself, but Steve agrees with Diana.
This list contains the date and nature of all informational transactions concerning Major Dexter that I have made. Coded item E4F87 indicates a name was deleted from his list of associates in August of last year. The name was positioned between the names Henderson Michael T. and Ingalls Barbara A.
Hoffman. It could have been Hoffman's name that was removed from the list.
A sound deduction.
He's been behind it all along.
At the toy shop, Dexter's throwing a fit.
I'm this far, Hoffman. I have been shining my shoes like a good boy and saying yes, sir, and no, sir, to a bunch of idiots in uniform for 15 years. Just waiting for something like XYZ to come along, and I am this far from making it pay off, and I'm depending on you.
Yeah, break his hip and send him to the hospital, genius. You'll get a lot out of him that way.
Hello.
Hello? Diana. This is Dexter. I have some wonderful news for you. I have found somebody who knows the whereabouts of Dr. Tobias and Dr. Prescott.
Really?
Yes, I'd like you to meet this person at midnight at the southwest corner of Perry Park.
Gee, that doesn't sound like a trap at all, especially now that she knows Dex is the bad guy. There's nothing to do but walk into it without any backup or anything else, because we lost our backup to budget cuts.
Hello, Diana. Hello. Wonder Woman. You've been working on the XYZ case all along? Yes. From the moment Dr. Tobias disappeared, I knew that the safety of the entire world was at stake. And you found the doctors? Yes. In the basement of that toy shop.
Okay then, let's go get him.
Well, Diana, this is your little night for surprises, isn't it?
Not really.
Her biggest surprise was meeting herself at that park, but you don't know that.
Now, Diana, where's Dr. Lazar?
You can't possibly believe I'd tell you.
No, I don't. Orlick? Yeah.
It gave her some kind of truth serum. She wakes up with Dexter in her face.
Where is he?
Oh, I can't. He's the only one left.
Diana, where is Dr. Lazar? Where did you arrange to have him held?
My apartment.
Under the drug's influence, she gives the address and all the security details, including the password for the guard at the door. While Hoffman loads the other two guys up in his van, Dexter goes to collect Dr. Lazar.
Morning. I wonder if I might be able to interest you in a bowl of alphabet soup?
Yes, sir. Come in, please.
Needless to say, that was the password. He's in. Down in the basement, Diana is waking up.
It's almost 11 o'clock. We have to get him loaded and on our way. Come.
As soon as she's sure she's alone, including the android version of her, she goes into action. Hoffman had the android carry Dr. Prescott outside to the van, and now they're coming back for Dr. Tobias. But something's weird.
That's this.
Somebody turned on all his toys. Apparently we have to verify that with an isolated shot of every stinking toy in the place, and it goes on way too long before we get to the point.
You should have stuck to the toys you were best at, Mr. Hoffman. The harmless ones.
Stop her!
We've been waiting all episode for this, so here we go. Why am I looking at a bunch of toys instead of the Wonder Women? Okay, this director has a fetish for those toys. We keep cutting away to them instead of focusing on the action. So it may get a little choppy, but I'm going to cut a bunch of those out. Who asked your opinion? Which one won? After we get another close-up of every freaking toy in the place, we get our answer.
What do you do now?
I'm going to get Dr. Tobias. It's almost 11.
I go warm up the van.
Looks like the android won. And if you can believe that, don't ever take a call from a telemarketer. We get a lot of little hints. She gives a tiny sneer when Hoffman leaves the room. As she's getting Dr. Lazar out of Dexter's car at the meeting spot, she glances back at them in a way an android wouldn't do. It's basic fan assurance, little nudges to let us know this is the real Wonder Woman pretending to be the android. Why? So she can rescue all three doctors, of course. If she'd tipped her hand back in the basement, she might not get the chance to save Dr. Lazar from Dexter. Now all three of them are here and unharmed, so she can do her thing.
You know something, Orlick? Most of your androids, I can tell them from the real thing.
Nonsense, my boy.
No,
nonsense.
I can't. I really can't. Nobody else can. But I know your dolls from the real thing, and I want to tell you something. This one looks like the real thing.
I told you, they get better. This one's perfect.
Setup complete, cue the twist.
Come on, baby, let's do the twist.
Get back, Hoffman.
What are you doing?
If she's one of your androids, you can rebuild her. But if she's not...
No!
Dexter runs for the van while Hoffman just runs. He's gonna need a knee and a hip replacement after that. Dexter jumps in the van and speeds away.
Dexter, the disadvantage of rear-wheel drive.
At least that was his plan. It didn't work. Later, Diana is filling Steve in on how Wonder Woman rescued the scientists and caught the perps, including his friend Dexter. And Wonder Woman has an idea.
She suggested that we let them think their plan worked.
What?
She used her golden lasso to make them forget they were caught. Now it's our turn to replace the scientists with androids.
As it turns out, Hoffman kept spares in his basement.
You mean let them ship fake scientists out of the country?
Arresting Dexter and Hoffman would only publicize this whole thing.
Yeah, well, that way, everybody would get, or everybody would think they'd be getting exactly what they want.
Right. And the XYZ weapon can finally be forgotten once and for all.
The androids are in place, and Dexter and Hoffman are loading them into the van. Steve and Diana head out to watch the fun.
They think everything's going as planned.
I wonder what whoever bought the weapon will do when they find out.
That they paid for 3 androids?
Who wouldn't know Project XYZ from a science fair project?
I would not want to be either Dexter or Hoffman when that happens, especially if those end up melting down like the first couple did. Frank Gorshin never disappoints. He did the old man thing perfectly with just the right touch of homicidal crazy thrown in. My biggest disappointment is the Wonder Woman fight because, as usual, all they did was throw each other around. Let's at least see some kicks or something. But we're well into season 2 and we still haven't actually struck anybody. We just grab them and throw them. I'm still wondering why. And all the cuts to the stupid toys. We didn't tune in to look at a clapping monkey. Quit making us look at a clapping monkey. But overall, the episode was fun. The androids were a little spooky, but generally ended up being silly, like the Dr. Prescott one that acted like he was a meth head. We had a good mix of serious and not so serious. More episodes like this would not be unwelcome. I'm Irving, and you are now exiting Cartertopia.